really, really strong.
There's the pass to Jokic, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
Taking it to the rack with power right there.
And hammering down with the two-handed slam.
Just piling on the lead with a dunk like that.
Sacramento, a team that is likely to put it on the floor to attack. We saw that last year. They have no problem creating with player movement versus ball movement, which is something which is a nice way to kind of begin the transition.
It is, and Kevin, they were dead last in the league in terms of catch-and-shoot field goal attempts. Also near the bottom in catch-and-shoot field goal percentage, so they might have been justified in that.
Now Cousins, after Chris Middleton missed from long range, and he gets it to go.
I tell you what, the post play has been rock solid right off the bat.
It really has, and they've created a lot of high percentage shots in the paint here already.
Now here's Rose. He had 10 points in the win against Phoenix. He feeds it to Gobert. The shot is off. Nice D from Cousins. The Kings trail by 3. Gay in the corner. Lots of room. The shot's good. Collison making the play. 6 points for Rudy Gay.
Tell you what, he's 3 or 4 now. Looks like his game's on offensively.
And it's Rose penetrating, and he gets it to go.
I tell you what, guys, it's going to be a tough day on this defense if he's got the A game rolling tonight.
Screen by Cousins. Collison kicks to Cousins. Passes it to Bellinelli to the left side wing. Puts it up from 12. No good from Cousins.
The defense needs to play tight on him, and that's exactly what they did to force that miss. Well done.
Here's Jokic. Sacramento grabs the miss. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. Collison with it, and Rose picks him up defensively. Collison kicks to Cousins. Tipped away. Antetokounmpo against Collison. Rose. Here's Middleton. And there's the whistle. Fouled hard on the shot. He'll go to the line. And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for Chicago.
Guys, right from the start, it's been apparent they're determined to establish a presence in the paint.
The other thing they've had going for them tonight is their passing. I mean, doing a nice job. Plenty of their points early on coming off assists.
A platoon swap here for Sacramento.
And boy, how good was Chris Middleton last season? Always a deep shooter who could stretch the floor. He hits the weight room in the offseason and became a much stronger defender. Now he's one of the more promising 3-and-D guys in the league.
Here's Roten after Rajon Rondo's bucket. Roten the pass to Bass. Here's Oden. Out of bounds. Sacramento will take possession.
And a chance here to check out some stats on Chris Middleton. Some last season stats for him. Averaged about 13 points per, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
McDaniels, he's checked in for the Bulls. There's the screen. And Butler, here we go. Chicago grabs the miss.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss. Wow, that is just pretty right there. What a find for his teammate at the rim.
Now here's Rondo. He's coming. Off a 22-point game against Denver.
And how about the extraordinary display of his passing in that game? He was making all the right decisions and had their offense humming.
Here's McLemore. It's a 5-point game. Now here's Roten. He's been patient so far. Nothing yet on the scoreboard. Oden, a screen on Butler. Here's Roten. He got it! He caught it!
My goodness.
3 points at the buzzer.
Definitely an answer to prayer there.
Check it out.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. Guys, what's your take on the Bulls so far?
I just like the way they're getting out in the open floor, taking advantage of all those fast break chances here early on.
I agree with you, Greg. I mean, they can run, and they've done a good job filling the lanes in transition.
So for Chicago right now, Brandon Bass is out there with Oden. Then it's Miller. Then it's Tony Roten. And it's McDaniels in at the 2 spot. Now here's Rondo following the miss by Greg Oden. And he was fouled in the act of shooting. Chance here now for a 3-point play. DeMarcus Cousins. He's checked in for Kosta Koufos. The Kings shooting their first free throw of the game right now. And for Kosta Koufos, Clark, so far he hasn't had that breakout year. He has been kind of in the shadow of Marc Gasol on that front line for Memphis.
Yeah, but he's understood his role, and he's done a nice job. He did start 81 games for Denver a few seasons ago, Kevin, but I think he's very comfortable as a backup. He's one of those guys who's just effective in limited playing stints.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Roten with it. He's picked up by Rondo. McDaniels kicks to Bass. And stolen by Cousins. And now the Kings fast break up the floor. Here's McLemore.
Boy, with 2 fouls now, he really has to be disciplined and under control for the rest of this half.
The Kings have shot just 1 free throw earlier. 1 for 1 in the game.
And going back a season ago, they were a pretty average team at the line, about 76% altogether.
And, you know, that just added to their confidence at the offensive end. I mean, knowing that free throw shooting was something they didn't have to worry about gave them a lot of confidence to play freely.
And the Kings making a change here. Gay's checked in. Here's Roten. And again, Chicago. No good. The Kings trail by 3. Rondo kicks to Cousins. And it's in after a nice bounce off the right side. Cousins has got his first points of the night.
And talking about Koufos, he gives you some things you want out of your bigs. Great size and activity, solid rebounds and blocks per minute numbers. He may just need a chance in the right system to show more game.
Now here's Rondo. Now here's McLemore outside. Miller grabs the miss. And the first timeout of the game called for Chicago.
And one thing about Ben McLemore, he can be an absolute lights-out shooter. Last season was a big improvement over his rookie campaign. Up in field goal, three-point, and free throw accuracy. Really just scratching the surface in terms of his potential.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Quincy Azee's checked in for Caspi. Bellinelli comes in for McLemore. And it's Collison in for Rajon Rondo. Collison, and it's blocked. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Bass. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Here's Azee. His second shot goes in. Off to a good start, 2 for 2. And for Ben McLemore out of Kansas, he knew he had to work harder after the Kings drafted a guy to replace Nick Stauskas. And, of course, Stauskas went on to have Clark an even worse rookie campaign than McLemore had the year before.
Yeah, and McLemore actually on the uptick, very much improving in year 2, and that means perhaps Stauskas will be the odd man out.
Here's Gay. Up and in for the basket. Number 4. That makes him 4 for 5 now.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Yeah, they have really owned the interior. You've got to collapse that defense and force them to beat you over the top.
Sacramento with the ball. Following the miss by Derrick Rose. Cousins with a screen on Rose. Collison dishes to Cousins. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. For DeMarcus Cousins, his numbers have been flat out phenomenal. I mean, just incredible. Sometimes hidden by the lack of what's around him in Sacramento, especially, you know, Greg, when you compare last year's stats with other centers in the NBA.
Yeah, he's averaged nearly 5 points more per game than the next center. Top 3 in rebounding for all centers. This guy is the complete package down low.
The number of points they've scored in the paint already today is pretty eye-opening.
It really is, Clark. The defenders need to do a better job of closing those lanes to the hoop.
Outside, Antetokounmpo, and he gets it to go. Antetokounmpo's got his second bucket.
You know, guys, back to DeMarcus Cousins last season, he was top 3 for centers in assists and steals, and he was in the top 7 in block shots.
And talking about Cousins, he's a franchise talent. No one debates that. He can take over a game anytime he feels like it. And heaven help the NBA if he ever starts feeling like it over an 82-game year.
Kuvas checked in for Sacramento. Here's Bellinelli. A 14-point game for him in the win against Denver.
Yeah, but he set up shop at the free throw line. I mean, he just could not be defended out on the floor.
A splendid pass that time by Rose.
Looking at the last game for Sacramento, it was a win against the Nuggets.
And if you look at the box score from that game, guys, the first thing you'll notice is how many turnovers they forced.
And one thing the box score doesn't show us is how many points came as a direct result of those turnovers. But I think it was a huge factor.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
Yeah, that's a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. The Kings trail by 5. Collison kicks to Gay. Picked him clean. .114 left to play here in the half. The steal. Goes up. A huge slam. The perfect end of the fast break.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
Here's Gay after the Bulls pick up 2. And the shot falls short this time. Chicago leading by 5.
Not sure if they're aware of the 2-for-1 opportunity.
Well, they ought to be. I mean, that's basic basketball time management. You've got to be aware of your clock and your situation. Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's keyed this run. Passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Here's Bellinelli. Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. A drive by Collison. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo.
And this should be the last possession of the quarter.
Exactly. I'm right with you there, Greg. I mean, no need to give the ball back before the end of the quarter. Make sure you get the last shot here.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul, stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
The Bulls shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And that one falls for Middleton. Middleton hits them both.
He's always been extremely reliable at the line, and today's been no different.
Outside Rondo. At the top of the key, Caspi with 1 on the clock, and it's good coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 3 assists now in this one. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. It's the Bulls as they wrap up the second quarter on a 15-6 run.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Chicago holding the upper hand after the first 2 quarters. They've got the 7-point lead. And that'll do it for now as the second half of our game is...
The second half just about to get going here.
And former coach of the year, George Karl, making his way back into the league last season. Kings picked him up halfway through the year to kind of stabilize their coaching situation.
We've got Rudy Gay, DeMarcus Cousins out there with Quincy Acee. Then there's Bellinelli, and it's Collison in at the point guard position. So that's the 5 in the game for Sacramento. Their turnaround jumper. The shot is off. And Sacramento will go the other way with it. And what a pickup to get a guy like Karl, Greg, on their bench, as you mentioned. He's just been a winner, Clark, his entire career.
Well, he's climbing the ladder in the all-time wins category as a coach, and also he's a cancer survivor. He's overcome a battle with cancer, and that also lends itself to having great compassion and respect for George Karl.
As did his son, Kobe.
That's
Remember
right.
that? Yes.
That's right. It's a family affair.
To the inside. Cousins, no good. Chicago leading by 9. Here's Middleton, and he takes that one up and powers it through.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. Rising up and hammering it home. That could be just what they need to pick their energy up.
Wow, it definitely got the guys on the bench on their feet. I'll say that for man. Oh, man, was that
And
fun.
no doubt about it, guys. That's one of those plays that will pick up his teammates. A lot of times a play like that.
Oh! Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying, Clark, to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Hey, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what George Karl was saying to the team. He said their plan was to run their offense through Gay. Coach has a lot of faith in him offensively and let his players know it, insisting that he be at the forefront of what they do at that end of the court from here on out. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thank you, Doris. Antetokounmpo passes to Gobert. Out to the right wing. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. And now here comes Gay leading the break. Rose with the block. The second chance effort. And with that, the Chicago lead is cut down now to just 9 on the basket from Gay.
They're on fire from mid-range, guys. They found a weakness in the defense, and they're exploiting it to a T.
And it's not often you see a team as efficient from that short 17, as I like to call it, but it's really worked well for them today.
And, you know, guys, Marco Bellinelli really hit his stride 2 seasons ago. He was way up across the board as a shooter and assist man. Even his rebounding had improved over his career averages. But then last year, he took a bit of a step back.
Here's Jokic. And it's off the back rim. No good. For Sacramento, they've gone 2 of 6 from the field here in the third. And it will go, and the Bulls' lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Gay. The Bulls have gone 3 of 6 in the third quarter, 50% from the field. And it's Rose penetrating, and the foul on Derrick Rose. That is his first foul of the game.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
Here's what Sacramento's going with right now. Caspi, he's checked in for Quincy Acee. Butler comes in for Rudy Gay. Then McLemore, he's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. Rajon Rondo is subbed in for Darren Collison. Caspi dishes to McLemore. 16 feet away. And it's Jokic with the rebound. The Bulls leading by 7. It's Antetokounmpo on the wing. He's covered by Rondo.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Second half here. We're just over 3.5 minutes into it. Cousins with the bucket.
Room service delivery right there, fellas. Wonderful entry feed.
Bulls have gone 4 of 7 to get things started here in the second half. Here's Jokic. It's hauled in by the Kings.
And honestly, not real happy with the shot selection on that one.
Yeah, clearly a brain fade there. He's got to be a little smarter in his choice making. It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
And Middleton kicks to Antetokounmpo. No good on the triple.
Boy, with an open look like that, he is so gifted. Man, you got to play better defense. Eventually, he's going to make you pay.
Yeah, you can see he's still in rhythm, even though he misses that one. Almost always deadly when he's that open.
That shot becomes effortless for him when the D is so relaxed. They've got to get more intense.
One thing to say about Rajon Rondo's career, he's come up big in the biggest of games, had 6 steals in the closeout game that gave Boston its 17th championship. Remember that back in 2008 for Coach Doc Rivers.
I really do. And after that Boston win in the series against the Lakers, Phil Jackson called Rondo the star of Game 6. Everyone had always talked about the Big Three in Boston. That year, it was the Big Four.
And, you know, guys, on the topic of Rondo, you look at his playoff career now. I mean, in 2009, he averaged nearly a triple-double in the postseason. I mean, this guy has great instincts, but he has to have the ball to orchestrate the way he's most effective.
Here is Caspi, guarded by Oden. And it's Butler missing.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
There's a minute left in the third. Dishes it to Bass. And again, Chicago, no good.
And going back to what we were saying, what you hope with Rondo is that he can get back to his full level of confidence. He tore the ACL in 13. He was traded in 14, lost his way a little bit, but he's still young enough to have several really good years in front of him. And it doesn't really matter who starts the break with how he runs the floor. He seems to always be the one who finishes it.
Yeah, he is so fun to watch in how he attacks the rim at full speed like that, man. It's something to behold the way that guy gets to the rim.
That's good. Butler's got 5.
Butler's showing us how it's done with that shot.
The Bulls leading by 6. Here's Roten. He has 5. Miller kicks to Bass. Puts it up from 12, and he gets it to go. Bass has got his second bucket of the night. From deep, and no good trying to get that one. Hello, and thanks for joining us, folks. The fourth quarter of play should begin momentarily. The Kings trail by 8. Our fourth. Quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. So for Chicago right now, Tony Roten out there with McDaniels. Then it's Brandon Bass. Then it's Oden. And it's Miller in at the 3. Here's Roten. Misses off the right iron. And for Sacramento, they're shooting pretty well at 46% from the floor. Cousins with a screen on Miller. Inside, off the screen, and so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
You know, last season, DeMarcus Cousins had several triple-doubles, but with Cousins, he would have 20-plus rebounds to go along with 20 points and 10 assists. That's amazing for a big man, for any man, as a matter of fact.
And for Cousins, those 20, 20, 10 triple-doubles are an incredibly rare feat. First time, in fact, that we've seen that in the NBA since 2010.
And he was the first big man since the great Wilt Chamberlain to do it in back-to-back games. So Cousins is one of the rare big men who can do it all and has displayed that multiple times last season. And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
And some stats here, guys. The scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
Guys, the passing we've seen from them has been tremendous. Very unselfish.
Yeah, but also they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Wasted no time on that one. Here's Roten. Bass with the screen. Feeds it to Oden. Out of bounds, Sacramento takes possession.
No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
Chicago making some changes. For Sacramento, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to get the fourth quarter started. Collison, the pass to Gay. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And really, after trailing the entire game, they've got to be feeling good about evening things up.
I certainly would be feeling good. Fourth quarter, momentum with them, ahead of steam. They've got to be feeling confident now.
And Middleton kicks to Antetokounmpo. Shot clock at 5. There's the dish to Rose. Releases. And again, unable to change momentum here. Here's Gay. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Gay. And taking care of the ball has been a problem for him.
Yeah, defensively, some really good pressure being applied, though, so you've got to give credit there. It seems like they've been rattled a little bit.
Greg, you think they've been rattled?
They have, Kevin, but that's something they've got to fix. While the defense has been good, a lot of these turnovers have been unforced.
No luck. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Outside Rose. Pass to Jokic. And it's Gay with the rebound. Gay's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Off the pick. Another miss by Gay.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Rose attacking, and Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
I mean, I like the call. I thought the defense was just there a little late.
Yeah, it looked like it. I mean, he kind of slid underneath as he got to the spot, too.
Rose against Collison. Here's Jokic. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got 5 assists tonight. The Kings trail by 4. Guys are looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Collison dishes to Cousins. And right through it goes.
Superb assist there. He played the role of the maestro on that one.
For Chicago, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the fourth quarter. Rose goes in, stolen by Gay. Gobert against Collison. In the corner, it's Bellinelli. Chance there to take the lead, missing. Rose passes to Jokic. And it's off from three-point range. Kings have gotten just under 45% of their attempts to drop in the fourth. 4 of 9. It's tipped. And Chicago's shooting has been great, up over 50%. In fact, 52%. Collison against Antetokounmpo. To the paint. Here's Gobert. Rebounded by Collison.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry. Gay has it rolling and going tonight. He's got 21 points and a couple of nice steals, too.
And his offense has matched the defensive effort today. He's been really just one of the best players on both ends.
I don't know if you could say enough about the job he's been doing in all aspects of the game. I mean, stuff in the stat sheet when you look at it.
Rajon Rondo's checked in for Darren Collison.
Man, he got fancy with that one, didn't he?
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
I tell you what, I like that, though, guys. Some coaches might not want you to make them play like that, but I tell you what, when you got the skills like that, I say go for it.
Doris Burke has an update for us. Doris?
Hey, guys. Well, George Karl had some advice for the team in that last huddle. He told them the game is right there for the taking, fellas, but we've got to be first. First to loose balls, first to the rim. We have to give our all right here. Kevin, now's the time.
Oh, man, what a turnaround. Sensational play on D, and then the rapid-fire run to the basket.
Craig, they didn't wait around, did they? They went right for the throat.
Guys, this is crunch time now. When you've got a chance to capitalize on the turnover, you've got to take it and make it.
1:11 left here in the fourth quarter. Rondo kicks to Cousins. He dishes it to Gay. No good. Gobert with the defensive effort. The Bulls leading by 4. Here's Middleton. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
Really, the defense is helpless to stop a layup right there. Just too much of an advantage in terms of the mismatch.
Kicks it to Cousins. 44 seconds left to play in the final quarter. And now we've got the intentional foul. Here's Rose. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
Some good play from Rose in this one. He's got 8 points and 6 assists.
And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And the second of 2 is good. That makes it a 7-point lead.
And I'm sure he would like to have had all of those, but he's still able to pad the lead.
Rondo kicks to Cousins. It's in! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Rose attacking. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Gained with it. Now guarded by Middleton. No good from Cousins. They've been doing a great job of sharing the ball.
Excellent display of team play.
And guys, Sade comes to mind for me because right now that offense, it's a smooth operator.
Sade, I like that, Greg.
And he just garnered a little bit more insurance there. Very confident as he's able to go up and knock those down.
Timeout called by the Kings. They're behind by 7. 16 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And here's the fast break. Here's Rose. Hammers it in after taking it the length of the floor.
This is a serious game-clinching run they're on.
Yeah, I agree with you. Just not backing off here. I mean, they're looking to close this one out in style. What a time to have this kind of surge.
8 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Steps back and shoots. Shot is off. And so it's Chicago winning this one.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Many thanks, Kevin. So now we move on to our Rudy Gobert. What'd you think, Kenny?
Rudy Gobert is a game changer, guys. He had a major effect on this game. First and foremost, his length causes so many problems at both ends.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed
2K Sports pregame show.
Welcome to the NBA on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. Looking at Chicago, they took the win in their last game against the Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, the confidence just exuding in that performance on the offensive end. I mean, really illustrates how this team clicks when guys are communicating and executing as a cohesive unit.
Yeah, roadkill is hard to get in this league. I mean, to be a great NBA team, you've got to be able to have that kind of performance on the road. Focused, purposeful, and productive. Really solid.
Now let's check out our starters for the Los Angeles Lakers. We've got Nick Young. Roy Hibbert is out there with Julius Randle. Then it's Russell. And it's Bryant in at the 2. Now here's Middleton. Lock at 6. Gobert the pass to Jokic. On the wing. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off a shot. 24-second violation.
And a lot of teams are looking for coaches that embrace analytics and look at data-driven approaches. Coach Scott is not one of those guys. He's an old-school coach who goes with his own perception.
Gobert with the block, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will take it.
Yeah, baby, groovy.
Antetokounmpo against Young, and the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And how high can you fly? I mean, he finishes that one with some pop.
GA after getting loose in the lane with a scintillating move.
Well, I tell you what, he deserves to do some collar popping after that sequence.
So the Chicago Bulls able to put up the first points on the board. Russell kicks to Hibbert. A picture-perfect screenplay, and the jumper's good.
You know, the defense has got to do a much better job of fighting over those screens.
And, Greg, especially when the ball is in his hands. I mean, come on now. You know he doesn't miss too many open looks like that.
Here's Jokic. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Kings in Sacramento. For Los Angeles, they've gone 1 of 3 from the field to start this one so far. Russell dishes to Bryant. Hibbert with a screen on Middleton. From the line. That one a little long.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
And down it goes, jamming that one home.
Good, just like soup. A little more ferocious, though.
Okay, Clark approves, everybody.
Yeah, but that's how you finish strong. Young fella's wearing the rim out.
The shot by Bryant, no good.
And there was a question of whether or not Derrick Rose would be able to get back to his former self. At times last season, you could see him back in that MVP form.
Now here's Kobe. He dishes it to Russell. Right side, Bryant. From about 16, here's Hibbert. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far. And with Rose again, he showed flashes last season of his level of play, Clark, before the injury.
Yeah, exactly. And you hate to see any player go down with injuries, especially a talent like Derrick Rose. He still needs to show that he can regain that high level of NBA play for an entire season. I think that's just a matter of time, Kevin.
Young passes to Russell. Randle with a screen for Russell. And out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession.
And now a look at Rudy Gobert here. Good season for him last year. Put up 8 points per game, 9 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks. And what sets him apart is his rebounding. And as you can see, he's been in peak form.
This last stretch, unbelievable force going to the glass. And it's been reflected on the stat sheet.
A platoon swap here for the Lakers. Here's Portis. Tries again. A nice shot by Black. Black's got his first points of the night.
And the rebound and the follow show you what he is all about. Gritty and determined with a soft touch to match.
Now here's Rose. He had 13 points in the win against the Kings in Sacramento.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Brooks against Rose, and there's the foul. It'll go on Aaron Brooks. That's his first foul.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Now here's Jackson, and there's the foul. It's on Brandon Bass. That's his first foul. And so it's the Lakers with it. It's a 5-point game. This is their first chance to take a look at the Bulls this season. And Brooks, here we go. Got it. Good job in the low post. Brooks has got his first basket.
You know, he didn't need to make the layup complicated. I mean, it's not a trick shot contest, but he decided to go for a little extra flavor on that one. Here it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great position inside.
Yeah, just getting the ball into the post has to be option number one for them right now.
So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Here is Williams. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Jackson against Brooks. To the paint. 5 on the clock. Brown wide open. He fires. No good from outside. The Bulls leading by 5. Here's McDaniels. Misses the 3.
That's a look you cannot pass up. It's also one you shouldn't miss.
And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a 3-point play chance right here. One free throw coming up. Robert Sacre, he's checked in for the Lakers. Lakers shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And talking about last season, this team hit just 74% of their free throws. I'm sure they were hoping for better than that.
And that just has to improve, guys. I mean, the free throw shooting is something that has to get better. You're immediately putting yourself at a disadvantage when you shoot that poorly from the line.
Jackson against Brooks. He feeds it to Sacre. Here's Portis. Lays it up and banks it in.
How about the perseverance there, the extra effort on that offensive glass?
The Bulls have gone 7 of 11 from the field to begin the game. Here's McDaniels. And the 3 off target. Outside Williams. Here's Brown. And rejection by McDaniels. Roten can't hit. And that concludes the first quarter of play. And we heard from John Henson before the game, a player on the rise. He feels he still has...
Defensively, offensively.
Well, it sounds like he still feels like he has something to prove, Greg, but seems to me he's already known for being that kind of guy.
Yeah, that's a great point. Anybody who plays against him knows he looks plenty strong when you're banging with him. But if he needs to push and motivate himself by playing with a chip on his shoulder, well, a lot of guys have gone a long, long way in this league using that method.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Bulls.
We've seen a lot of their points coming off penetration in the first half.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
Taking a look at Los Angeles. Robert Sacre is out there with Julius Randle. Then there's Kobe. And it's Young, and it's Russell in at the 1 spot. And the Lakers making a change here. Hibbert's checked in. The drive by Bryant. The step back jumper is good. Bryant's got the second quarter going with the first basket of the period for Los Angeles. And for Kobe Bryant, how difficult was last season? Starting out strong, even though the team, Greg, around him wasn't very good. But then everything, including Bryant, fell to pieces.
And when you're a competitor, the way this guy is a competitor, you can't stand to lose. So you push your body to the limit to avoid that. But what happens at age 36 when you've got the kind of miles that Kobe Bryant has, you know, you just can't go it alone. That's why Kobe lasted only 35 games.
And it's Russell missing.
Those are chances almost always you can rely on him to get you 2 points, but the D just enough to keep him out of rhythm.
In the corner, it's Roten. From 15 feet away, the shot misses. And the Lakers going the other way now. The Wizards on the road to face them after this game. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Hibbert at the elbow. Drills the elbow jumper. Hibbert's got 6 points.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage.
Roten kicks to Henson. Marvelous lead pass, and he throws it down.
Yeah, he went for a little extra on that one.
Well, he usually doesn't finish soft, obviously. You know, he can when necessary, sure, but not that time.
Not when you can throw it down like that.
Yes, sir.
How about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Tariq Black, he's checked in for Los Angeles. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter. And he can time his passes so perfectly. Wow, what an assist.
The drive by Russell. The 3. And it's Jokic with the rebound. The Bulls leading by 5. And it's sent back by Russell. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Bulls will retain possession. The Lakers making a switch here. Williams is checked in. And Rose wide open. He shoots. It's good from long range. Rose has got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And no doubt the Lakers had some defensive issues last season. I mean, no true center on that roster. And at times, they were just feasted upon on the inside.
5 to shoot. Williams. And he connects on the jumper. The screen did the trick. Williams has got his first bucket in this one.
And he came off that screen, and the D just didn't get over the top of it.
Yep, weren't there in time enough to challenge Greg, and when that's the case, you can mark those up for him.
And pushing it up, here's Los Angeles. Russell's running, and the rejection by Antetokounmpo. The shot by Middleton, wide open. Misses the 3. The Lakers did have problems defending inside, Greg. You're right, both on drives, Clark, and on post-ups.
Yeah, you know, they were second to last in the league in field goal percentage at their own rim. And rim protection is more than just blocking shots. So they got a lot of blocks as a team, but anything they didn't block went in.
And some changes here for the Lakers. Portis, he's checked in for Hibbert. Brown comes in for Young, and it's Brooks in for Russell. Gobert with a screen on Brooks. Rose dishes to Antetokounmpo. Here's Jokic. Shoots from 12. It's rebounded by Portis.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Off the pick. Williams' shot is off.
The right thing there to stay that tight on him and really try to keep him out of his comfort zone.
This is to Gobert. Brooks grabs the board. Lakers trail by 4. Williams attacking. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time. Rose has got 3 assists now in this one. Now Brooks. He's coming off a 10-point game against Sacramento. Goes up the baseline. And the shot no good, a bit short. The Bulls leading by 6. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating.
And, you know, you hear everybody talking about Giannis's potential. I mean, look at the athleticism coupled with his measurables. I mean, that is just off the chart.
Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Tariq Black. He hits one, then misses the second attempt from the free throw line.
You know, guys, one of the things that is always going to keep you competitive against the West is a good defense. It's one reason why the Bulls tend to be a tougher matchup for teams from the West, because they do D up.
Clock management, this is where they can get a 2-for-1.
And Kevin, every opportunity counts.
They set the pick. Rose attacking. And that one's good. Jokic. He's got 6.
They're forcing the ball inside, and it's working beautifully.
It really is. 5 out of 6 of their last field goals have come from the paint.
Brooks against Gobert. Brown. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
And really the defense fouling there to prevent the layup, but that's exactly what you need to do.
It is. I mean, no reason to back off and give him the layup. I mean, much better off making him go to the line.
He's perfect from the line this time.
They've been getting more and more physical as this game has gone along.
And it's starting to pay dividends. They've gotten a lot of trips to the line because of it in this second.
Here's Jokic. Can't get it to go. Nice D from Brooks. Sacre. No good. And that.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again. What a showing tonight. A sold-out building, the backdrop for our presentation. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. And Shaq, what did you see out there from the Bulls?
The field goal percentage was off the Chisnarts, Ernie. Let me rewind it. The field goal percentage was off the charts, Ernie. It was well planned, well executed. They took very few bad shots, and that needs to be the focus from here on out. More smart basketball, don't try to do too much, and open the door for a comeback.
And over to Kenny, your takeaway on the Lakers.
Well, it's never easy to play on the road, and the score reflects that. Just doesn't seem like they're well prepared for this matchup. Every time they tried to make a run, they got derailed. I think to refocus their efforts in the second half, they're going to need to play with a lot more determination for a chance to win this.
All right, and that'll do it for us here. We now take you back to the second half of our game. Kevin Harlan ready with the call.
The second half beginning in just a moment. You have to like what we're seeing from Antetokounmpo.
And his play in that first half, how about the discipline to go along with the efficiency, guys? His shot selection was just perfect.
I agree. I mean, whether it's been from mid-range or in tight, he is taking only what the defense is giving him and not trying to do too much. Very much playing within himself.
We've got Derrick Rose. He's out there with Chris Middleton. Antetokounmpo out there with Rudy Gobert. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. And the foul on Derrick Rose. That's foul number 2 for him.
Yeah, really good defensive play to cut him off there and square up.
Excellent example of toughness and physicality on defense. Got his nose right in the middle of things and made a play.
And it's sent back by Russell. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rose. And the Lakers have possession. They trail by 7. And Bryant kicks to Russell. Now the dish to Young. Picked by Randall. Kobe, the pass to Young. There's the triple. Rebound by the Bulls.
Rare you'll see him miss such an open look.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. The baseline J. Nice D from Russell.
And out of the gates here in this second half, they have not started well. 0 of 3.
Kobe dishes to Randall, and out of bounds as the Bulls gain possession. Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second-chance points in the league. The Lakers in 5th.
That's an effort stat for me. I mean, it shows you how hard this team works in the paint. They continue to pound the backboard.
Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Derrick Rose possesses a great skill set, ball handling, passing, and understanding of how to score. First rookie to ever win the All-Star Weekend Skills Challenge.
That one is no good. Getting back to Rose, it's his extraordinary handle that allows him to get anywhere on the floor. Such confidence in the way he dribbles and drives, whether it's getting up in a position to set up a teammate, take it himself. He's the one very best at controlling that ball.
It's a great point. I mean, guys like D. Rose, Chris Paul, Steph Curry, Kyrie, they all have maximized that skill. I mean, the thing that separates him and puts him in that Russell Westbrook category is the pure physical strength. When healthy, he's able to play with.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Gentlemen, Byron Scott had some advice for his team in that last timeout. He made no mistake that their plan was to run their offense through Hibbert. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. Clearly, some adjustments there had to be made because the time left for a comeback is quickly running out. Kevin, over to you.
All right, Doris, thanks.
Well, that's a lot of bricks by them early in the second. Only 1 make on 5 tries so far in the second half.
The drive by Russell. The pass to Randall, uncovered. Chicago grabs the miss. Gobert's got his 4th rebound in this one.
1 for 4 from the field since halftime. They're having a tough time getting it going here.
And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And Kobe, here we go. Rebound by Rose.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be because he is so strong in the paint. And he's trying to shoot his way out of it. You know, they have the lead, but honestly, I think it might help if he'd be a little bit more selective tonight. And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
Just under 3.5 minutes played here in the 3rd quarter. Puts up the baby hook and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2. The Bulls shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
And you can't take those numbers lightly, fellas. I mean, their free throw shooting made a difference for them in a lot of their games last season.
And something that's been whispered about around the NBA is expansion. We know there are some markets that want desperately to have an NBA team. The NBA might not be at 30 teams for the foreseeable future.
Robert Sacre, he's checked in for Los Angeles. The Bulls leading by 10. Jackson drives in. Bass with it. Working on Black. Out of hand on it. 3-on-3. Knocks it loose. Stolen by McDaniels. To the middle. And he finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket and don't let them set up the defense.
And again, the Lakers no good. There are markets in the U.S. that want an NBA team. Seattle, which has been a great NBA friend, has been trying to get a team back since the Sonics left for Oklahoma City.
Clearly, Seattle's the lead name domestically. The NBA has also talked about adding a European division. A lot of different options for expansion. Don't think any will be acted on anytime soon, though.
The Lakers weren't very good at all last season, Clark, and they just didn't have any teeth in their road games.
Well, you know, they shot threes on the road well, Kevin. Top percentage in the league, as a matter of fact. Still, they just couldn't hold on to leads.
Pass to Portis. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Brooks. Portis has got his second basket of the night.
That's really told the story today, guys. I mean, throughout this game, they've been able to get the ball in tight and then finish.
More active and more physical down low. That's what's really been the difference thus far.
Passes shot. Good.
And the Lakers would end with a road record of 9-32. That is a franchise worst for them and sums up the year they had away from Staples.
Brooks against Jackson. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Here's Williams, and Henson sends it back.
He's giving them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor. You know, looking at the Lakers, a big thing for them as we get back to their road woes is they didn't win a single game on the road in their division. In a word, that's terrible.
Bass with the screen. Down low, deflects the pass. Williams with the steal. Brooks outside. 11 feet away. And a kind roll that time off the rim as that one falls.
And really smart to draw his man out to the perimeter. He's giving up too much size to be effective inside.
Showed nice basketball IQ. I agree, Greg. I mean, if he finds his spot on the perimeter and doesn't fall.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. And the Lakers have possession. It's a 14-point game. Okay, now let's reset our lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this fourth quarter. So for the Lakers right now, Russell is out there with Bryant. Then it's Roy Hibbert. Then it's Julius Randle. And it's Young in at the 3 slot. Into the Bulls, shooting pretty good tonight at 48%. Jackson kicks to Roten. Cannot hit. Good defensive work there by Young. Lakers trail by 14. The drive by Bryant. And rejection by McDaniels. And that'll be the Lakers as it goes out of bounds. Lakers retain possession. Young outside. Outside Russell. No one near him. And he hits the jumper for 2. Russell's got the first field goal of the fourth quarter here for Los Angeles. Now here's Jackson. To the inside. The feed to McDaniels. Passes it to Bass. We're just over a minute into this final quarter of play. Shot is off. Got that one. The Bulls' lead has been cut down now to just 10 on the basket from Russell.
What a nice feed by Kobe that time.
And here's Jackson. Henson, a screen on Russell. It's Jackson with the drive, but they'll get another chance. Here's McDaniels. Tries again. And he gets it to go.
How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys. And he made it look easy that time.
Yeah, enough scoring on the inside there. I think it's time for him to send a message to his team.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I guarantee you this talk centers around cutting down on all of those points coming in the paint. They've got to show more resistance there.
Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Yes, during that break, Coach Byron Scott had some words for his team. He hasn't been happy with their shot selection. He told them, we're forcing things out there, guys. Space the floor, make the extra pass, work for the open shot in the flow of our offense. We'll see if they heed that advice, Kevin.
Good. How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Can't get anything to drop. I mean, the way he's going, it's probably not something he should try and shoot his way out of.
Well, they say you should shoot your way out of it, but his teammates probably have other thoughts in mind. The last thing they want to see him doing is continuing to cast that jumper up.
And really nothing like a good old-fashioned throwdown to get a team going.
And Greg, they do need to get going. They wouldn't mind, shaving a couple more points off that lead right away.
Well, if the defense keeps giving up easy baskets like that, it won't be a lead for long.
Chicago making a switch here. Antetokounmpo's checked in. Right side Rose. Down to 5 on the shot clock. No good. Nice D from Russell.
That's what we call good defense in the paint. Worth its weight in gold.
It absolutely is, and maybe even more than that. I mean, you saw it right there. Without his presence, that's an easy basket.
Outside Rose. Gobert the screen. Rose passes to Jokic. Releases from 15. That one a little long. Lakers trail by 7. Outside Bryant. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Gobert's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And it's Rose penetrating. And he gets the bucket.
He hasn't really done much on the offensive end, but he's worked within the team concept to help them get the lead. He's done some other things other than scoring to help his team get the lead here.
Stolen by Middleton. Fast break. Here comes Chicago. Jumps up. And he goes big time with the dunk right over Kobe Bryant.
Quick hands on the steal and then just mad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
That Kia Slam Cam replay really gave you a good look at the action.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
Here's Jokic. Back to Gobert. Shot from 12. Can't get it to go. So Los Angeles will take it the other way. Russell dishes to Kobe. And he gets it to go. Bryant's got 4 this quarter.
That's the 10th straight point they've given up in the paint.
And, it doesn't matter how good your defense is on the perimeter if you're going to allow easy ones inside like that.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
Antetokounmpo can't get it to go. Lakers trail by 9. Nice ball movement here by the Lakers. Hibbert hits the bucket.
I can't believe defenders are not aware. They cannot allow him that position.
Yeah, you're right about that, Greg. He's put a no trespassing allowed on that spot of the floor. It's all his.
And it's good. And the Bulls lead by 9.
No doubt about the consistency when it comes to scoring the basketball for him tonight. A real nice lift for their offense.
And the Lakers call time here. They're trailing by 9. 50 seconds left in the game. And the Lakers making a change here. Williams is checked in. And Young, here we go. Buries it from about 10 feet away. 46 seconds left in the game. Gobert against Hibbert. And Gobert kicks to Antetokounmpo. From the wing. And right on target with the switch.
And they're not finished just yet. They're going to make sure about this win.
Yeah, not taking any chances, Greg. This is how you close a game out. Textbook.
And the Lakers call time here. They're down by 9. 32 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
I mean, it's iffy that there's enough time to even get a quick shot and a foul.
I agree with you. Time is not on their side, but that's really their only hope, so I'm sure that's what they'll try to do.
Here's Kobe. Makes it off the glass.
And just a step ahead of the D in that possession there, making the pass. Nice assist.
Middleton the pass to Gobert. And Middleton kicks to Antetokounmpo. The 17-footer. That's good.
The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him, and when he's got that much room, forget about it.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They trail by 9. 17 seconds left to play here in the fourth. Guys, your thoughts?
You like the fight all the way to the end, but let's face it, guys, this one's over.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I really think you shouldn't be allowed to call timeouts late in the ball game if there's no chance for it to do any good on the scoreboard.
Here is Rose. Knocked away from deep. And so it's Chicago winning this one. They didn't make it easy on themselves or their fans, but Clark, in the end, everyone's satisfied.
Yeah, you know, it looked like for a moment there the outcome was in doubt, but give them a lot of credit for hanging tough, persevering, and finishing strong.
And time now to go courtside as we send you over to Doris.
Well, Derek, and
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was the steady and reliable hand throughout the game. And that'll do it for this edition of the NBA on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
It's Friday night, and live on 2K Sports, we're going to bring you the NBA in all its excitement. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. They're just off a road trip, and the Wizards are looking to settle back here at home and going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season. They beat this team in 5 games in the first round last year. That gives them some confidence, I'm sure.
Yeah, some history here, though. Of course, they won that first-round series in last year's playoffs and ended up sending them packing.
Added incentive in a game like this. I mean, they've got to be ready to rise up to that challenge.
Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. They've got Gobert. Rose is out there with Chris Middleton. And then there's Antetokounmpo. Rose, no good.
And for Chris Humphries, last year was a chance to sign with a playoff contender. The Wizards turned out to be even more than that, with the 4th best record in the East, and Humphries helped them to get there, averaging about 6.5 boards per game.
Wall, that's good. Wizards on D. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And really, had they just shot their average from the free throw line in that game, I think that probably changes the outcome.
No doubt. I mean, because there is a carryover effect when you're not having success at the line.
Here's Jokic. The shot by Middleton, wide open. The three-pointer is right on target.
A good open look, and he splashes home the 3.
For Washington, they've gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. There's a screen by Gorton. Humphries, the pass to Beal. Shot misses. Gobert with the defensive effort. Chicago's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Antetokounmpo. Rose gets a wide open look. And a great assist by Antetokounmpo as that one goes in. Rose has got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Wall dishes to Beal. Back to Wall. Pick by Humphries. Lock at 6. Oh, and there's the one-handed jam.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Now here's Rose. Out to the right wing. The shot by Antetokounmpo. Nobody around. Off target from three-point range. Wizards have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. Beal's shot is good.
Really good awareness right there on the assist.
Bulls trail by 3. Rose kicks to Antetokounmpo. Pass to Jokic. Gortat comes up with the rebound. Last game for the Bulls, they picked up the W against Los Angeles.
You know, they played well enough to win, but to be honest with you, I just felt like their opponent's defensive performance was shaky at best.
Yeah, I'd go along with that, Greg. I mean, the game wasn't handed to them, but they definitely didn't have to work as hard for it as they should have.
Now, here's Rose. To the middle. Gortat with the steal. And now Beal pushing it up, and no one back to stop him. Rose with the block. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Rose. And a new group getting ready for the Wizards. Nene, he's checked in for Humphries. Porter comes in for Jared Dudley. Gary Neal's checked in for Bradley Beal. And Sessions subbed in for John Wall. Here's Neal. First quarter of play and just over 3.5 minutes in. Porter outside. And another miss by Washington. We're looking at the Wizards. They weren't as lauded as other teams last season, but the Wizards were a ferocious group on defense. Numbers support that. Their activity, Greg, could really bother teams.
Yeah, I mean, on the surface, oftentimes people look at them and think offense, but it really was, to your point, Kevin, the defense was the strength of that group. I mean, they do get out in transition, but it was the defense, I thought, that really allowed them to become elite.
1:49 left to play in the first. Rose kicks to Gobert. Gobert, the screen. And it's Rose penetrating. Here's Antetokounmpo. And the shot falls short this time.
And you mentioned the Wizards and their defense last year. They had the second best field goal percentage defense in the league. The only team that was better, the NBA champs, Golden State.
And he gets it to go. Antetokounmpo's got his first 2 points of the night. The Wizards with the lead. So timeout called here. The first for Washington.
And guys, more on the Wizards defense last year. They clogged up the middle well. Third best in the league in points in the paint allowed. They also were great at stopping fast break points. Top 10 in the league in that regard.
Nene, the screen at the top of the key. Neal. 1:03 left here in the opening quarter. Offensive rebound. Chicago's gone 2 of 4 from beyond the arc to start the game. Over to the left wing. Jokic, no good.
Rebounding is going to be the focal point for them in this one, fellas. I can feel it.
It always is, and it has been so far, and they've gotten a nice edge on the glass. How about the way he's able to angle his body to shield the big fella off and still get the finish?
You've got to be clever with your sleight of hand when you get inside and try to finish against the bigger guys, and he made it look easy that time.
Antetokounmpo can't get that one to fall.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Sessions against Rose. And that one's good. Sessions.
Now that's a killer crossover. The defender got totally shook up by that move.
Here's Rose. Middleton outside. And there's the pass to Jokic. And again, Chicago. No good. And so the first quarter is in the books. Wizards lead by 5. And a chance to hear from Bradley Beal. He came from a football family in St. Louis, but said his mother introduced him to the game of... Maybe some other NBA players should be practicing with Bradley Beal's mom, because she has definitely honed something special into him.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but I'm not sure some of the more delicate NBA egos could handle her trash-talking them when she beats them in a game of horse. Bradley's not only got a special J, but he's got a pretty good disposition, too.
Now the second quarter getting ready to start up. And what stands out to you from Washington in this one?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
The great pair of Wall and Beal are at the guard spots. Chris Humphries is out there with Nene, and it's Dudley in at the 3 slot. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Nene, the screen. Beal, the pass to Wall. Humphries sets a pick for Wall. That 3 off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake.
And guys, there was a time where people wondered if John Wall could be a team leader. Well, that question has been answered, and then some. Unquestioned leader of the Wizards.
No good. And Chicago will go the other way with the ball. They host the Spurs after this one. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home. Wizards leading by 5 to the paint, and here comes the break. It's rebounded by Bass.
There was just enough defensive pressure to get him off balance and cause that shot to go awry.
It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown so far for the Wizards.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And also, it's been a positive to watch that they've attacked the paint offensively as well. It's really been about the balance that they've shown.
Boy, I tell you what, he loves getting looks like that from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Bass, a screen on Wall. Roten dishes to Wright. Puts it up from 12, and it's Humphries with the rebound. Washington's gone 1 of 2 on three-pointers here in the second quarter so far. And Wall kicks to Humphries. Nene down low. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And was a force on the defensive side as well. 4 steals over the course of that game.
Garrett Temple has checked in for Nene. They get a hand on it, and so it looks like Washington will retain possession here.
Let's take a look now at some numbers for Beal. Last season's performance for him averaged about 15 points a game last season, 4 rebounds and 3 assists. And guys, he's making winning plays. It's as simple as that. Not a star player per se, but he makes his presence felt.
And fellas, I would say he's been overachieving a little bit lately. Hopefully this is a sign of greater things for the future.
Clock is at 3. Wall, that's tricky. And so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
And for the last 3 seasons, what a talented really backcourt John Wall and Bradley Beal have become. Wall drafted 1st overall, Beal 3rd in different drafts. A little lottery luck, if you will, and great scouting of these two.
So Chicago ends up going with the new group. Rose passes to Gobert. And it's Humphries with the rebound. Humphries has got 3 rebounds so far in the game. And Wall with the slam.
And folks, he does more than just put 2 points onto their lead. He does it with a little bit of flair.
He sure does. You're right. It's a dazzling move to the bucket for him.
I'll tell you what, he may not be the biggest man in the league, guys, but he more than makes up for that lack of size with amazing aerial skills.
Now about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball. Here's Jokic, and he says right back at you with a big dunk of his own.
And check out the bounce.
Bounce to the ounce. Clark, how about that?
Yeah.
All right,
You
showing
said
him
it,
off
Kevin.
right there. Good move.
You said it, my man. He's a highlight reel waiting to happen.
And so the ball out of bounds. Gobert touched it last. Clark getting back to Wall and Beal. They really complemented each other perfectly over the last 3 seasons.
Yeah, you look at some of the great backcourts of any age over that time, and Wall and Beal right there with them. And it's good to be so young and talented, that's for sure.
Looking at who's out there now for the Wizards. Gortat's checked in for Humphries. Porter comes in for Beal. And Sessions subbed in for John Wall.
Oh, nice play on D. Got that hand in the face and prevented him there from getting an easy look.
Exactly. Alert and aware. Really reacted quickly to that shot attempt.
Wide open look. And Antetokounmpo with the basket on the assist by Gobert. Antetokounmpo's got his 2nd bucket of the night. Now here's Sessions. The dish to Dudley. Here's Temple, defended by Middleton. 4 on the shot clock. Sessions, no good. Bulls trail by 6. Outside Rose. Gobert, the pass to Jokic. He dishes it to Antetokounmpo. Passes it to Jokic. It's stolen by Sessions. 1:32 left here in the second. Rose with the block. They get it back. And another miss by Washington. Bulls have gone 4 of 8 so far here in the second quarter. Antetokounmpo with the ball. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Lakers.
Yeah, but I like how he defended as well. You know, he got a couple blocks in that game and just an all-around great effort.
Just 2 to shoot. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here. And guys, the Greek Freak really improved his numbers across the board last season. Giannis was up in every measurable category except three-point percentage.
He's really improved his shooting, though, overall. The 3-ball still eludes him a little bit here and there. But what I like, Kevin, is his aggressiveness. That's what's making the difference in his game right now.
And the Wizards making a change here. Neal's checked in. Sessions. And the shot is good. Dropping in off the front of the rim. Sessions has got 6. Bulls trail by 6. Outside Rose. To the left wing. Middleton outside. Swiped away. Now 8 seconds separating the 2 clocks. And Neal kicks to Sessions. Gortat with the screen for Sessions. He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. 8 points for him.
And that was Gortat. He usually scores, but that time set a nice screen.
And here's Rose. One second left. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. And the
Bradley, it's
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the 2K Sports Halftime. A pretty close game for the Wizards throughout the first quarter. Their biggest lead during the opening period. So that does it for us. Hope you enjoyed our halftime show. Now,
and now the third quarter about to get going. You look at Ramon Sessions, what a contribution.
And the thing I noticed most in that first half was his offense. He was not wasteful with his opportunities and also did a great job of converting with the chances he had.
I agree with you, Greg. Judicious shot selection. All of his looks were good looks.
Our second half of basketball and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. Taking a look at the Bulls, we've got Derrick Rose. He's out there with Chris Middleton. Rudy Gobert is out there with Antetokounmpo. From past the arc, rebound Washington. Gortat's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. That's good. Dudley's got his second bucket tonight.
8 of the last 10 points at that end of the court have been scored on very high percentage shots in the paint.
And really, there is no resistance defensively right now. It is just far too easy.
That one's good, and the Wizards' lead is cut down to just 10 points on the bucket from Antetokounmpo. Well, the Wizards shooting 48% from the field. Not bad at all. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed, Clark.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, that actually excellent talent to make it special, and that combination is a winning one.
And you talk about the Bulls being able to beat anybody in the league. They did. They did that last season. One of only 3 teams to register 1 win against every other team in the league back in 2015.
Kicks to Gobert. Dudley against Antetokounmpo. Nice teamwork to set up the pick play and make the space for the J.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Nene, he's checked in for Washington. Temple comes in for Jared Dudley. Washington leading now by 10.
And, you know, getting back to that point about the Bulls beating every team in the league, only the Spurs and Warriors were the other teams to do that. Goes to show just how tough last year's Bulls squad was.
And the shot's good from Nene.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Offensive rebound. Here's Gobert. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. The Bulls shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
And at the line last season, about 78% as a team. Pretty solid numbers.
And, you know, that just added to their confidence at the offensive end. I mean, knowing that free throw shooting was something they didn't have to worry about gave them a lot of confidence to play freely.
Well, nobody really knew, Greg, what to make of Washington going into last year's playoffs. They came out strong with a big sweep against a pretty good Raptors team.
Yeah, how about taking them down 4 straight? And it was the first time a team has swept an opponent without home court advantage since 2011. Also was the first sweep for the Wizards in franchise history.
Now that is rocking the rim. Give him the 2 points and tack on some style points too, Kevin.
Clark, he deserves some. No simple finish there with the high altitude windmill slam.
That, to me, is a statement.
And in the second round, the Wizards continued to be a tough opponent. I mean, they went up 2-1 on the Hawks, but were unable to keep the series lead. A lot of close, heartbreaking losses for them in that series.
Goes up on the wing. It's good, and the Washington lead is cut down now to just 11 on the basket from Antetokounmpo. Beal dishes to Temple. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. And Washington making a change here. Neal's checked in. Here's Humphries. The Wizards with another miss.
And the Hawks would ultimately take down the Wizards last year in the postseason. John Wall and his injury were a big turning point in that matchup. And all those buzzer beaters for both teams made it one of the most interesting series of the postseason.
It's Wall with the drive. Here's Nene, and he goes in for the dunk.
And very little fight put up by the defense as he made his way to the bucket for the jam.
They did seem to take the cautious approach, Greg, when it came to defending that one. You're right.
And, guys, it's not the time for caution now. I mean, they've got to be aggressive and take some risk to see if they can cut that lead down.
Easy little jumper for him right there, guys.
Wall passes to Neal. Nene against Oden. And Oden sends it back. And so it looks like Washington will retain possession here. Sessions checked in for the Wizards.
Ramon Sessions.
Here's Neal, looking for his first basket still in this one.
Not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Here's Roten, and it's Humphries with the rebound. Humphries has got rebound number 5 here tonight. Here's Neal. Pass to Beal. Nene, the screen. On its way from Neal for 2. Off the left rim and out.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
That one's good, and the Wizards' lead is cut down now to just 11 on the basket from Wright. Washington's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. Here's Nene, and Oden sends it back. McDaniels kicks to Roten. Goes up again. He takes it up and lays it in. Oden's got his first 2 points.
They're not as aggressive from the outside here, but maybe they should think about stretching the defense a little bit, like they did in the first half. I mean, stretching the defense makes it easier to score inside, too.
That's good.
No hesitation when he saw the space the D was giving him. That's 2.
Bulls trail by 11. Roten dishes to Oden. There's 25 seconds left in the third quarter. Wizards have gotten half their shots to drop in the second half up to this point, going 7 of 14. Jumps up.
Oh! Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Kept alive. Humphries kicks to Neal. Takes the elbow jumper and trains it. Neal's got 7 points here in this quarter.
You know, I think when you've got somebody that open on the perimeter, a good shooter, the kickout's the only choice.
Here's Bass. No good on the buzzer beater.
Get ready for your Wizard Girls.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up in what has been a one-sided show. Bulls trail by 11. Ball out there with Garrett Temple. Then it's Gary Neal. Then there's Jared Dudley. And it's Gortat in at the pivot, manning the middle. That's the group on the floor right now for Washington. Right for 3. But they get it back. Oden kicks to Roten. The shot is off. Wall with some nice D. Wizards leading by 11. Ball going up court. Stolen by McDaniels. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. McDaniels got the first basket as we get going in the fourth for the Bulls. Now Wall. Five on the clock. It's rebounded by Bass.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
Right from outside. They get it back. McDaniels. Gortat with the defensive effort.
He's always going to have a difficult time finishing when the defense is in his face like that.
Wall wide open. That's short off the rim.
If he can improve on what's been a shaky day for him thus far, they could stretch this lead out.
Roten the pass to Bass. And he banks in the layup.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
Gortat dishes to Neal. Now here's Wall. Tight defense on him. That's good.
That's just run-of-the-mill for him. A typical day at the office. He's one of the more skilled offensive players out there.
Now here's Roten. Now the feed to Oden. Nice work on the board. It's paying off with the basket.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
There's a screen by Gortat. Left side, Wall. And you know that's going to be goaltending, guys, so that's a free basket right there.
He got there late, but you do have to like the aggressiveness to go after the block. But that one's going to count.
Nene, he's checked in for Gary Neal. Rose against Wall. Dishes it to Middleton. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Here's Wall. Fourth quarter keeps moving right along. 3 minutes gone so far. And Dudley kicks to Wall. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
He's played an important role in their offense today, guys. Without him, they may not be in the lead.
The Wizards making a switch here. Beal's checked in. Bulls trail by 10. Antetokounmpo with the ball. Here's Jokic. Middleton outside. They set the screen. Down low. Stolen by Dudley. Oh, and a fast break for the Wizards. Oh, and the dunk by Beal.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
Here's Rose. Here's Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo can't get that one to fall.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting.
Rose against Wall. A floater. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Gobert's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Antetokounmpo. Gets the front of the rim and out.
Some of the shots he's taken have been real head scratchers. I mean, come on. He's out there playing like it's a game of horse at the park.
And Dudley kicks to Beal. He feeds it to Wall. A second chance effort. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Good game for John Wall. 15 points and 6 assists.
He's just been impossible to contain. He's been unreal in this game.
Utterly fantastic is how I would categorize that performance, Greg.
For a franchise that had so much success under his tenure, there was sure a lot of friction with Tom Thibodeau, and the Bulls front office surprised a lot of people, I know, including yourself.
Yeah, you know, it's not something that you see often, a winning coach at odds with his GM and president. With how often their differences came up, though, you knew something was afoot.
And with Thibs, he did end up getting fired from the Bulls this past season. Some saw it coming, but still, I think surprising given the level of success he had. His imprint is all over this Bulls team and the way they approach the game.
And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Hi, Kevin. Randy Whitman was just going over the plan with his team. He wanted his guys to keep up the intensity, saying, if any of you think this game is over, you're wrong. We've got work to do. I don't want to see any letdown on the defensive end of the floor. Guys, let's watch how it plays out.
And when you look at how Thibs got fired, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why a coach can be let go. I mean, he didn't have any performance issues, but apparently clashed in some form or fashion with the front office. Sometimes that's all it takes to be asked to go somewhere else.
And this run not really doing them any good at this point, as late as it's starting to evolve.
Yeah, but kudos to him, Greg. I mean, the fight they're showing now, you got to give them credit for that. Would have been really easy to pack it in.
Middleton drives in. The lead now cut to single digits.
And that assist got him a little nod from his teammate after that one.
Clark, they're in good position here to ride it out.
Yeah, they certainly are. I mean, if they just play smart right here, Kevin, this game's pretty much over.
Nene with the screen on Rose. Wall draws the double. Beal gets a wide open look. No good on the 3. And here are the Bulls now. Trailing here by 8. Here's Antetokounmpo. The offensive rebound. The kick out to Rose. Count it! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5. So it's the Wizards now. And an intentional foul right there. It's the first, and that increases their lead to 6. And so both free throws are good, and it's a 7-point game.
The free throws go down, and the lead goes up.
He kicks to Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo can't get that one to fall.
And sometimes we all just want to show people that we have the range.
Yeah, you speaking from experience? We already know how good his range is.
The 2K Sports post-game show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith with John Wall. He delivered quite a star performance. Not uncommon. And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in. Always a
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
We're live, the home of the Chicago Bulls, the United Center. So for the Spurs, their last game, a win against the Bucks in Milwaukee. And they put it all together in that game. It added up to a phenomenal win.
They just looked stable pretty much from the get-go, guys. I mean, sometimes you'll see some inconsistencies come up in a road game that you don't see at home, but not the case in that one.
Tremendous balance on display, Greg. I mean, when you look at who was carrying the scoring load, making assists, playing unselfishly, I mean, they had it all working, and that led to the nice road win.
A look at the San Antonio Spurs opening lineup. The always reliable Parker and Green in the backcourt. Duncan out there with LaMarcus Aldridge, and it's Leonard in at the three.
Oh, Maestro, he is so good at making those lead passes, like conducting an orchestra.
Rose with the ball. Pass to Gobert. Kicks it down to Middleton. Just 5 to shoot. Outside Rose. Shoots. San Antonio with the rebound.
And one thing that everybody loves about Coach Pop is his frankness. You get a taste of it in interviews, but he's as honest and straightforward with you as he is with anybody else.
Passes to Jokic. Outside, Antetokounmpo. Pass to Jokic. Here's Gobert, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
And the defense just gets caught standing around that time and giving up the second chance opportunity.
You know, that just can't happen. They need much more effort than that on the glass.
Now here is Aldridge. 14 points from him the last game against Milwaukee.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
Boy, just by his body language, Kevin, you can tell he thought that triple was going to fall.
Yeah, it seemed like he had great rhythm on that. You can see the disappointment in his face.
Here's Leonard. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Leonard's got his second basket of the game.
Can't be any surprise to you that Tim Duncan, folks, last year became the leading rebounder of all active players, passed up Kevin Garnett for that honorable distinction. We're talking 15,000 rebounds total over 18 seasons.
And about 2 minutes played here in the first quarter. Rose against Parker. Rose dishes to Middleton. Back to Rose. He kicks it to Gobert. Just 4 to shoot. Antetokounmpo passes to Gobert. An easy layup after coming off the pick. Gobert's got 6. Getting back to Duncan's rebounding, he's always had the great size and wingspan and timing, and he really positions himself well for those rebounds. But what seems to separate him is his quiet toughness. He'll never back down.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, he's not a guy that's going to yell or pump his fist. He's not going to flex his muscles to the crowd. He just silently assassinates you
well said.
out on the floor.
You're right. You're so right. Here's Antetokounmpo, and a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here. Bulls shooting their first free throws here tonight, and the first one at the line is good.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Chicago was as strong as they would have hoped for last season at home in the United Center. A lot of big wins for them here.
Yeah, and despite all the injuries, they go 27-14 at home, and that helped to assure them of home court in the first round of the playoffs.
Chicago leading by 4. Now the pass to Jokic. Back to Rose. From deep. That's in for the first basket of the game after 3 attempts.
You know, you look back on the Bulls' record last year with 27 home wins. That's pretty solid. Same exact total as they had the year before. They haven't gone below 500 at home since 2008.
And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. Rose kicks to Antetokounmpo. Wasted no time on that shot, but it's off the mark. Spurs trail by 7. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kev. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
And the wide open shot from Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Green's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball.
And a big part of why the Bulls are tough at home is this crowd. I mean, sold out every game last season. Led the league in total attendance for 6 straight seasons, averaging over 21,000 fans per game.
Now here's Parker. Rudy Gobert missing his last shot. Nobody near Leonard. The three-pointer no good. The Bulls leading by 4. Antetokounmpo dishes to Gobert. On its way from Rose for 2. No good off the back of the rim.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
Gobert with the block. And so the ball out of bounds. Gobert touched it last. So Chicago ends up going with the new group. The Spurs also changing it up. West comes in for Tim Duncan. And it's Ginobili in for Daniel Green. Leonard, and it's Wright sending it back. And stolen by Wright. And here we go. Fast break. Burton's got it. Howard down after the assist. Let him into the lane.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Bass can't get it to go. Spurs trail by 6. Leonard with the ball. Now Wright defending. Wright against Leonard. Banked in off the glass. Leonard's got 6 points. The Bulls leading by 4. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Lito, the pass to Oden. West with the block. And Ginobili with a clear path to the rack. And that'll be San Antonio as it goes out of bounds. Spurs retain possession. And here's Mills. Picked by West. Three-pointer. That's good from Ginobili on the assist by Mills. Ginobili's got himself on the board with 3 there.
A lot of space right there to get that shot off.
Not a very good job of the defender getting over the top of that screen in that particular play.
And LaMarcus Aldridge, the franchise player on this team, without question. He talked about the response. Greg, does that acceptance come with putting a whole lot more pressure on yourself? And if so, what does that do to LaMarcus Aldridge's game?
And you know, Kevin, that's what's going to be so interesting to find out. Some players, you know, they really relish in that situation. They rise to that occasion. And others, I don't want to say they wilt under the pressure, but they're just not comfortable in that environment. And in the NBA, you get to do it on TV and in front of thousands in person.
Neither team able to build much of a lead up to this point as we start the second quarter. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Bulls.
You know, they've done a great job of getting a hand up on shooters. Actually have gotten a lot of blocks as well, solidifying that defensive effort.
And also they've been really active on the defensive end in terms of applying pressure and coming away with steals.
And a moment now to reset the lineups, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up for the second quarter of basketball. On the court for San Antonio, Mills and Manu at the guards. Anderson is out there with Boris Diaw, and it's West in at the 5 down low. Diaw, the screen. And Mills kicks it to West. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for 2.
And for David West last season, the thought was he might increase his production with Paul George out, but the opposite happened. West suffered his lowest scoring output in a decade, only 12 points per game on 47% shooting. Rough showing for the former All-Star.
Well, Greg, getting back to West, even though his scoring was down, his playmaking was up. You were talking about that. Clark, 3.5 assists a game last season, by far the highest number of his career.
Yeah, one of the very best pros I've ever been around. He's very smart. He's tough. He's all about team. And, you know, he makes things happen. Impacts winning in a lot of ways, and those assist totals indicate that.
Oden a screen. Lito dishes to Wright, and that is good. Wright's got his first points in this one.
Yeah, quick trigger. And from that range, if he senses the defenders have backed off, forget about it.
Green kicks it to West. Spurs passing it around. West a screen on Wright. It's Anderson with the drive. Here's Diaw. No luck. Now Chicago takes it the other way. Defeated by the Wizards in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
And it's a tough game to lose. I mean, they actually put up a pretty solid effort, I thought. But when you're battling for a road win, even when you play hard, nothing's guaranteed.
Well, Greg, I think you've got to try to convert the positives. Take them into the momentum of your next game and use them for momentum, and then take what you did well and double down the efforts here tonight.
And I think Doris Burke has something for us right now. Doris?
Guys, thank you. I got a chance to hear what Greg Popovich was saying to his team. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Leonard. Coach detailed the ways to ensure he's the one in charge out there, with the ball in his hands and the rest of the players falling in line behind him. Guys, they're clearly hoping those changes have an effect even before this game makes it to halftime. Kevin?
And thank you, Doris.
Well, what a smart pass that time by Aldridge.
Rose against Parker. Rose passes to Gobert. Here's Jokic. The shot no good. Nice D from Aldridge. San Antonio trailing here. Parker dishes to Leonard. Feeds it to Aldridge. And it's Chicago with the rebound. They're getting their first look of the season at San Antonio in this one.
And you have to love it when there's a matchup like this. Two teams that are at the top of their respective conferences going at it.
Well, you know, they split their meetings last season, and the way both of these teams love to compete, I wouldn't be surprised if that happened again.
Derrick Rose, unbelievable spirit. We know about his toughness, has fought through injuries of all kinds that might cause a lesser competitor to hang up his sneakers.
And competitor, that's the word, Kevin. I mean, he was impossible to outcompete at the high school level, the college level, and now in the pros.
Leonard attacking. They grab their own miss. They kick it out to Green. The open shot by Leonard. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Leonard's got it all tied up now for San Antonio.
And, you know, back to D. Rose for a moment. He drives the lane now as hard as he did before the injuries. It's a level of fearlessness that only a few guys possess. And it's not teachable. You either have it or you don't.
And here's Green outside. Antetokounmpo pulls it in.
Outstanding perimeter defense there. That was a well-contested shot.
Yeah, and you know he takes a lot of pride in his defense. There are no easy threes if he's on it.
And how about the agility coming from the big man? I mean, that's not something we often see from him.
You know, it's never going to be, Greg, a 360 dunk when he goes up with it, but it will be 2 points. We do know that.
You know, you can sacrifice a little athleticism when you've got the size he does.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for him.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
And Gobert kicks to Antetokounmpo. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
And, you know, back to D. Rose. He grew up in a brutally dangerous neighborhood. on Chicago's south side. Some of that fearlessness, that competitiveness he exhibits was learned early on out of necessity.
Middleton on the wing. Back to Rose. Gobert the screen. Rose with the ball. He's picked up by Parker. 6 to shoot. Rose goes in. He makes that one drop, only a second and 5 tries.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
And getting to the 10 has been the key. They're getting point-blank looks time and time again.
Parker passes to Duncan. Outside Leonard. Looking to end the run. Once again off the mark by San Antonio. The Bulls leading by 8. 5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Rose dishes to Gobert. Middleton outside. Pulls up from the corner. Not enough on that one as it misses. Now here's Green. To the paint. Here's Aldridge. And it's good on the assist by Parker. Parker's got 3 assists now in this one. He gets it up. No luck. And we finished one half of basketball. It's Chicago leading by 6. And
Coach, you're going.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Welcome back, folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaquille. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. Some nice stretches of basketball from them, and at one point, they pushed the lead up to 7. The second quarter was when things really came together for them, and the result is they were able to build a solid 6-point lead at the half. And Kenny, what did you think about? And that'll wrap up our halftime show. The third quarter set to go moments from now. We will be
welcome back, everybody. The start of the second half getting underway. Both teams battling hard through the first half. You have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, you know, one of the things about the truly greats of our game is that sometimes you get spoiled because of how consistent they can be. And so far, another big scoring night for him.
And oftentimes when he puts up that many points in the first half, he follows it up with an even better second half. We'll see if that's the case here.
Derrick Rose is out there with Chris Middleton. And it's Rudy Gobert. And then there's Antetokounmpo. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half.
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Gobert with a screen for Rose. Pass to Jokic from 18 feet away. The shot misses. And San Antonio will go the other way with it.
Listen, Kawhi Leonard hasn't been in the league for a long time, but he's feeling right at home. He said last season he wants to remain a Spur for life.
And Duncan with the basket on the assist by Parker. Parker's got assist number 5 here tonight.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly how you want to do it.
Gobert, the screen. Rose. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
That's good. Hit.
And for Leonard to hear players say that a lot, but rarely before they reach the end of their rookie contract.
Yeah, I think Leonard just realizes what a special situation he found himself in. I mean, he is the complete package as a player and custom made for how the Spurs like to play and do things.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. West is checked in for Duncan. Kyle Anderson comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. And it's Mills in for Parker. Antetokounmpo passes to Jokic. Back to Antetokounmpo. Just under 2.5 minutes into the third quarter now. The shot is off. Here's San Antonio. They've outscored him 10 points to 2 during this run. Leonard with the ball. Now guarded by Middleton. Leonard attacking. Goes back up. And, there's a whistle. He was going up for a layup. And while it looked like there was some contact, I wasn't sure they were going to call a foul shot or not. But sure enough, they have. So he'll head to the free throw line. The Spurs have come up empty at the line so far in 3 attempts.
And, guys, every time we think Patty Mills is going to take the next step in his development, he takes a step back. Last season, he shot career lows from the field and behind the arc after having one of his best ever campaigns the year before. That really just makes a coach pull his hair out. And fortunately for me, I don't have it.
And it's Manu Ginobili with the finish.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
They set the pick. There's the feed to Rose. Middleton for 3. The Bulls keep it alive. Pass to Jokic. Another shot. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. For Chicago, they have shot 3 of 5 at the foul line. First one falls for him. Back to Mills. The Spurs could have used his contributions last year. Parker was hobbled. Corey Joseph was still learning. Mills didn't put together consistent efforts and ended up losing minutes, Clark, because of it.
Yeah, Mills had the opportunity to make an impact for a championship contender. That chance doesn't come very often. Unfortunately, he couldn't make the most of it.
Diaw with a screen on Rose. And Mills kicks to Diaw. A good finish at the rack off the slick feed. Diaw's got his first basket of the night. Now Rose. 8 points for him. Gobert the screen. Rose dishes to Antetokounmpo. Can't get it to go.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And, guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Back to Anderson. Shoots. And the Spurs scoring again.
And a nice spark for their offense here in the second half. Now above 50% for the game.
And, guys, that kind of offensive efficiency really keeps a lot of pressure on the opponent, and that's part of why the lead is what it is.
And here are the Spurs. They're on a 17-5 run here. It's not really a surprise at this point, but the Spurs were in the playoffs last year. 18th consecutive appearance.
Yeah, and they weren't in that usual top 3 spot, though. Although, had they won the last game, instead of being the 6th, they would have been the 2nd.
Right.
Didn't have that home court advantage, and as they went up against the Clippers, it really cost them in that 7th game.
Good ball movement here by the Bulls. Here's Antetokounmpo. Antetokounmpo can't get that one to fall.
He's given them little to nothing at the offensive end. I can't put it any other way.
Bulls trail by 6. There's 38 seconds left to play here in the third. Rose kicks to Gobert. Back to Rose. 5 to shoot. Off the pick. San Antonio with the rebound.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
Mills passes to Ginobili. Pick by West. Ginobili dishes to Mills. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Chris Middleton. Ginobili. He got it up there. but it wouldn't fall for him. And that... We've got a great game on our hands as we welcome you back. The fourth quarter of action getting started. Bulls trail by 6 on the floor for San Antonio starting the fourth quarter. Manu and Kawhi filling out the perimeter. Aldridge out there with Boris Diaw, and it's Parker in at the point. And out of bounds as the Spurs gain possession. Spurs leading by 6. Inside, it's deflected. Aldridge with it. Oden picks him up. They get the rebound. Diaw. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, way to play in attack mode and get to the line.
And, you know, the defense gets their money's worth on that foul. Stopping the layup and not giving up the and one.
Daniel Green. He's checked in for San Antonio.
And you really got to admire Boris Diaw. I mean, he's found a way to kind of reform his game as he's gotten older. I mean, so different than when he was new to the league.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball, getting into the paint. That's costly.
And at this stage of a tight game, the tired legs really start to show. A defense becomes vulnerable if you can continue to pound it inside.
Diaw lost his athleticism and is a slower player than before. You could argue he's more productive now, though, Clark, than ever.
Well, his game was always on the ground in my mind. He's highly skilled. He's much more cerebral on the floor than given credit. I mean, I think he is really a difficult matchup because he's crafty, he's tough, and he's experienced and skilled.
Here's Green. That drops, and it comes off an assist from Parker. Parker's got his 6th assist on the night.
Oh, and look at how well he led him in there. Really, he passed him open for that deuce.
Pass. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
How about that fantastic finish and the aggressive move, too, Kevin?
Trying to send a message, Clark, with that slam, I think.
And I'm not sure if it was text or email, but he definitely threw that one down.
And the basket by Diaw. Bulls trail by 6. Here's Lito. Passes to Bass. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Aldridge.
You can tell that pass just hung in the air for a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Long enough for him to get a hand on it and knock it out of play.
Tim Duncan, he's checked in for San Antonio. Shoots. And that one goes long.
And if the shot's not there, you've got to understand that move the basketball.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm not quite sure what his mindset or what he was thinking there. I mean, that was just a terrible shot.
Sound offensively. Really no other way to put it here in the second half.
There's really no comparison between the teams in terms of the way they both shot the ball since the break.
11 feet away. The shot no good. Nice D from Duncan.
Another rebound hauled in. They're hitting the glass with a lot of passion.
Guys, that's been the key to their lead. I mean, simply put, the effort they've displayed on the glass has been the difference.
That is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to 8. Again, the points coming from Lito.
That's the way to work the ball in close to the hoop, guys.
And we're about 3 minutes into the fourth quarter. Double team on Parker. Leonard, that's for 2. They get it back.
And even though he missed that, you have to take those shots when you get the opportunity.
Exactly. They don't come much better or easier than that.
Now here's the fast break. Parker leading the way. And Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case. It looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, I remember GA as an irritant. And this guy, much like Greg, creating havoc out there.
Here's Rose. They set the pick. 3-pointer. Shot clock at 5. Shot is good, and the Spurs lead is cut down to just 8 points with the bucket from Gobert.
No doubt about it. He has done a ton to help his team, but he's going to have to do even more if they want to have a chance to get back in this. And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Here's Jokic. Aldridge is covering. Middleton for three. Rebound, San Antonio. Aldridge has got 5 rebounds tonight.
They have been board dominant in this game. That's definitely been a factor in crafting this huge lead.
And it's been a well-rounded performance. I mean, strong rebounding has certainly been at the center of it, but it's been good on a number of levels.
Green kicks to Duncan, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. And it's a 12-point San Antonio lead. Rose against Parker. Rose kicks to Antetokounmpo. San Antonio with the rebound. Aldridge has got 6 rebounds in the game.
No question as to which team gave the better effort tonight. A dominant performance and an outstanding win for the Spurs.
Clark, the biggest factor tonight had to be their great shooting. They shot much better than the other team.
You know, I thought both teams worked hard at both ends, but sky-high field goal percentage and pressure defense to force the other team into a lot of misses. Excellent effort tonight.
And during the long NBA season, each contest important here tonight. Tonight's win will give them 4 on the season.
And as usual, great numbers and a dominant display for Leonard. There wasn't much they could do to slow him down as he was converting every good chance he got.
Gobert with a screen for Middleton. Back to Antetokounmpo. Here's Jokic. And again, Chicago. No good. Clark, if they want to, they can milk the clock just a little bit here.
Amen. I think that's the best option.
4 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Parker kicks to Duncan. They kick it out to Green. He dishes it to Parker. And so it's San Antonio. Easily.
Guys, I'm here with
the 2K Sports postgame show.
Kevin, much appreciated. And now let's present our Jordan. Kawhi Leonard.
There's no question about it. As far as small forwards go, Kawhi Leonard is.
And that brings us to the end of our broadcast for this evening. For